My life has been seriously impacted because of how high my weight is now. With how big I am, it's hard to do much of anything.
Being overweight for so many years, it's depressing. My knees just ache, joints like they just grinding.
The reality of Julian's life is a 24-hour endurance test, a desperate struggle against inertia. At his current weight, every single step is an act of agonizing effort, a heavy burden crushing his legs. He has to move at a slow pace just to avoid fainting from breathlessness. The indignity is heartbreaking. He's utterly dependent on his wife Irma, even for tasks as simple as preparing the food he so desperately loves. He feels his masculinity eroding with every physical failure.
I would have to say that my favorite meal that Julian cooks for me is salmon when he cooks it in butter, and then he makes asparagus next to it and Brussels sprouts. He's very good at making meals that taste good.
Here is a tragic food-centered marriage ritual. Julian is the self-proclaimed chef, controlling the sustenance for both himself and Irma, his wife. She meekly accepts this, fully aware that the meals are pure sabotage. Yet to challenge his authority in the kitchen is an impossible task for her. This is the dark heart of codependency, where fear is so powerful that she allows, even encourages, the very habit that may ultimately kill him.
But we didn't have a lot. And a lot of times, me and my sisters didn't know when the next time we was gonna get food. So when we finally did get food, I ate a lot of it.
The origin story is sadly predictable. It begins with profound food scarcity and then escalates into a classic trauma coping mechanism. After his mother remarried, his aggressive stepfather made his home life a constant battleground. Julian became the big kid, consuming calories as a psychological shield against bullying and abuse. He was eventually run out of town by his own mother to escape the escalating violence, leaving him angry and alone. The chaos was his reality, and food was the only constant that promised safety.
Okay, you know what the normal BMI is?
I think around 60, maybe.
18 to 25?
18 to 25.
Dr. Now steps in, sees Julian, and lays down the cold, harsh truth. He has a BMI of 112, a ticking time bomb. He asks him if he is aware of the gravity of the situation. Julian is clueless. As expected, it's only lack of awareness that'll cause a person to get this big. He demands to know why Julian is still killing himself with food. He gives the ironclad, non-negotiable directive: lose 100 pounds in 2 months just to prove he's serious, or don't bother returning.
What's going on? I'm like, I don't see my brother. I don't see my. He's fine. I was trying to call you during the call wouldn't go through. But I said I told you that I felt something wasn't right.
Why do you keep saying like I'm the one who was going against your tuition or something?
After their moving trailer breaks down on the road trip, Julian is consumed by despair, forced to leave almost all their possessions behind. He snaps at Irma, lamenting their complete and utter hopelessness. But in that moment, he realizes it is all just stuff. He lacks the emotional tool to cope, turning his frustration inward. This catastrophe serves as a perverse, necessary catalyst for him to start truly fighting for his life.
Just in shock right now. I'm scared to how Dr. Now is gonna react. I know he's gonna say I haven't been trying, but I have.
The second weigh-in is a devastating blow. Julian is forced to face the horrible truth. He gained 78 pounds, pushing his weight to a catastrophic 792 pounds. He tries to rationalize this epic failure by blaming stress from his father-in-law's death and the chaotic move. But Dr. Now sees through the smoke, calling out the classic food as comfort excuse for what it is: a dangerous rationalization. The scale never lies. Simple.
It's no excuse. You know, like what happened with my father-in-law and all that stress I was going through,
You say that, but at the same time, that's the excuse you are giving me right now. And I get that. You have had a lot of hard things happen.
Dr. Now is tired of the excuses. Julian tries to blame stress for his enormous 35-kilo weight gain. The doctor dismisses the rationalization instantly, reminding Julian that life is full of difficulty, and that is no justification for actively self-destructing. He pulls the plug on their partnership, flatly informing Julian he will not move forward unless he loses the entire 45 kilograms in 2 months, with no further chances.
That's a big loss, and I feel good about that. But I'm still nervous because this appointment could go one way or another. You know, Dr. Now could even see this amount as a positive or a failure.
A victory. Julian returns to Houston, having lost almost 40 kilograms. Dr. Now is visibly impressed, noting that while he still fell short, it proved he had finally taken control. The hard-won result earns him the long-awaited surgery approval, with the operation scheduled in 1 month. But the victory lap is short. Dr. Now issues the final warning: gain any weight, and the surgery is instantly canceled.
This past year has had a lot of trials in it. And there was moments I wasn't sure about doing this, but I'm so thankful that Irma kept pushing me forward so I didn't quit.
Julian has completely reclaimed his life. He has lost 86 kilograms, is driving a car again, and the fear of social interaction is finally receding. His date night with Irma is a triumph, marking the return of intimacy and shared joy outside of the kitchen. He is focused, proud, and determined to build a family. The physical transformation is monumental, but the real victory is the emotional one. Julian finally chose himself, turning a terrifying prognosis into an inspirational new beginning.
I would end up like this.
Sometimes I feel like a monster or an animal, you know? I'm not a human being.
My body's just breaking down and it's disgusting, and I can't even function.
All right, we are diving right in, and it is bleak. This isn't just being big, this is a prison made of flesh. Michael literally describes himself as a monster, and honestly, can you blame him? Every single movement is an ordeal that requires a team of family members. He can't even wash himself without it becoming a strategic operation. The sheer physical misery is one thing, but the self-hatred radiating off this man is a whole other level of tragedy. How does anyone even begin to climb out of this pit?
I have to make sure that Michael gets what he wants to eat, when he wants to eat it, or else he'll get very angry. He really gets mad about his food.
And here it is, the origin story. The childhood soaked in chaos and fear. Of course, it was a tyrannical father figure. Michael explains that showing any emotion was a sign of weakness, so he just bottled it all up and ate his feelings. Food was the only comfort that wouldn't yell at him or demand perfection. When his dad went to jail, the floodgates opened. It wasn't just about hunger, it was about freedom. Freedom to self-destruct with zero supervision. The pattern was set right there.
There's a lot of anger in our house because my dad was strict and everything had to be a certain way or he would be mad.
Okay, let's talk about the wife, Ronnie. She flat out admits Michael is an angry food addict and that she just feeds him whatever he wants to avoid a fight. You see this? This isn't love, it's survival. She's managing a beast, not partnering with a husband. Every meal is a potential explosion, so she just serves up the poison to keep the peace. You have to wonder, is she helping him die faster just to get a moment of quiet? It's a completely broken dynamic fueled by fear.
Haven't analyzed your eating, so you eat whatever, whenever, okay? And that's the second one, okay? Those are issues that we need to start working on one by one.
Thank goodness Dr. Now has entered the chat. He immediately cuts through Michael's delusion that surgery is some kind of magic wand. You can see the confusion on Michael's face. He genuinely thinks the problem is just the size of his stomach, not the chaos in his head. Dr. Now lays it out cold, telling him he has no idea what his real problem is, and that he has to lose 50 pounds in a month. This is the dose of reality this family has desperately needed for years.
Lack of progress shows me that you aren't really getting this, and you still think that someone else is going to do all the work for you.
Of course, the first follow-up appointment is a complete train wreck. The goal was 50 pounds. The result? A measly 16. 16! Are you kidding me? This isn't just a slip-up. It's a catastrophic failure that shows just how deep the denial runs. Dr. Now is practically steaming, explaining that with his intake, even minimal effort should have yielded massive results. This isn't a struggle, it's a choice. He is actively choosing to fail, and the addiction is winning by a landslide. This is where most stories end.
Because I don't like to be yelled at. You know, his anger issues have gotten really bad to where the kids and I were just kind of like, we just can't think for ourselves. We can't make decisions for ourselves.
Now we're getting somewhere. In therapy, the emotional dam finally breaks, but it's not Michael's, it's Ronnie's. As she describes living under the constant threat of his rage, you see the real cost of his behavior. These aren't crocodile tears for the camera. This is years of repressed pain and fear bubbling to the surface. For the first time, Michael is forced to sit there and witness the emotional wreckage he's caused without being able to use food or anger to escape it. It's raw, and it's absolutely necessary.
I want you to lose 100 pounds over the next 2 months.
Okay.
If you don't, then I don't think I can help you, and we can stop this game, okay? And what's going to help you is the family stop feeding you whenever you want to eat.
This is Dr. Now at his absolute best. He doesn't coddle, he doesn't negotiate. After the pathetic 16-pound weight loss, he drops the hammer. The new goal isn't just a suggestion, it's an ultimatum. Lose 100 pounds in 2 months or get out of his program. He even tells the family to stop being his servants. This is the shock therapy Michael needs. It's no longer about feeling his way through it, it's about performing or facing total abandonment. It's a gamble, but it's the only move left.
Can you tell the difference?
Oh yeah, I could stand a lot longer. I could do a lot more things.
Okay, so you lost 100 pounds overall, but just 84 pounds this past couple of months.
I am genuinely shocked. He actually did it. Well, mostly. He needed 100 pounds and he lost 84. But that's a monumental achievement born from pure desperation. You can see the relief wash over Michael and Ronnie when Dr. Now approves the surgery. This wasn't a half-hearted attempt. This was a fight for his life, and he won the first real round. That ultimatum, that dose of tough love, it actually worked. He earned this. It proves that somewhere under all that rage and denial, there's a man who wants to live.
I wanted to do stuff like this when I was 600 pounds, but there was no way I could get out of the house long enough to even try it.
No, redo, full redo. Okay, redo.
I know my kids have always wanted to be able to do more with me.
Look at this. Just look at this. From being trapped in a house, unable to move, to playing mini golf with his family. This is the victory lap. It's not just about the weight loss, which is incredible. It's about him being a father, a participant in his own life instead of a spectator. The man who saw himself as a monster is now just a dad, a goofy, active, present dad. He took his last chance and sprinted with it, proving that even from the deepest, darkest pits, change is possible.
A lot of people do. It just makes me feel like I'm useless.
One of my worst moments was when I had an accident downstairs.
I slipped and I ended up wedged in between the wall and the door.
Okay, we are starting with James, and it is a masterclass in absolute misery. This isn't just being big, this is being entombed in your own house. The man gets stuck between a wall and a door, and his first instinct is to beg his own mother to shoot him, to just end it. Let that sink in. This isn't a life. It's a waking nightmare where your own body becomes a trap, and the fire department has to demolish your home just to free you. How do you even come back from that?
We have a hospital bed in there that my husband was using it. When he passed away, my daughter moved to that bed because she said, "Mama, I'm gonna sleep in here. I can rest better on this bed."
And here's the absolute horror story. The family has a literal deathbed, a hospital bed where his father died from obesity, where his sister died from obesity, and now where James sleeps. Can you imagine? His mother looks at him and just sees the next in line for the grave. This isn't just a weight problem. It's a family curse, a generational plague of self-destruction. He's not just fighting his own demons. He's fighting the ghosts of his entire family in the very bed they died in.
Here you are putting this pie on here knowing I ain't supposed to eat it.
I guess James blames me for his weight. I cooked how I knew to cook. I hope he's not too bitter at me.
Let's talk about the enabling. The mother, Maggie, is a classic. She cooks these huge starchy meals, and James eats them on top of the fast food he's already scarfed down on the way home. Then he has the audacity to blame her for making the food he willingly shoves in his face. It's a perfect toxic feedback loop of guilt and gluttony. She feels responsible for his misery, so she feeds him, and he eats himself closer to death while pointing the finger at her. It's absolutely maddening.
I just lost my daughter and my husband.
Was your husband overweight?
Oh yes, he was close to 500 pounds.
500 pounds.
He was 65 when he died.
Thank goodness Dr. Now has arrived to slice through the nonsense. He immediately connects the dots, pointing out the family history of obesity-related deaths and telling James in no uncertain terms that he's next. The look on James's face says it all. For the first time, a doctor isn't just weighing him, he's reading his eulogy. The goal is set: lose 50 pounds or prepare to join his father and sister. This is the cold, hard dose of reality this family has been avoiding for decades.
Temptation and failure go hand in hand. If you've been failing for years, you know temptation all too well. It's been a while since I've been able to eat something I like. I started on solid foods again, and boy did I overdo it.
And here it is, the first stumble. After his successful surgery, James is finally allowed to eat solid food again. His first real meal? He eats so much he's left clutching his stomach in pain. This is the moment every patient faces. The surgery shrinks your stomach, but it doesn't shrink the addiction in your brain. This isn't a failure, it's a brutal, necessary lesson. His body just taught him, in the most painful way possible, that the old days of endless eating are well and truly over.
For me to be here, looking at their gravesites and everything, is a good reminder for me to know what put them there. And I started falling back in some old habits. And I think my mom wanted to remind me of what's at stake.
This is it, the emotional core of the whole story. James's mother takes him to the cemetery to visit the graves of his father and sister. You can see the weight of it all crashing down on him. This isn't just a sad memory, it's a vision of his own future. He's staring at the proof of where his path leads. This is the catharsis he needed. It stops being about a diet and starts being about breaking a curse that has already claimed half his family. This is his final motivation.
I haven't been feeling well and I got a lot of pain in my stomach. I'm worried that something is wrong.
Hi, Dan. You feeling okay?
Not really.
Where's your stomach hurting?
Right here, and then it moves over to the left side.
James called and said he was having a lot of pain in his stomach.
Just when things are going perfectly, the body reminds him who's boss. James is suddenly hit with excruciating stomach pain, and he's terrified something is wrong with the surgery. This is Dr. Now's version of tough love. Even with all the progress, the years of abuse have consequences. It turns out the pain is from the massive apron of skin, a constant physical reminder of the man he used to be. It's a harsh reality check that even after the weight is gone, the scars of his past still remain.
This tractor I'm about to get on is my baby, my pride and joy. But I've been too big to climb on it. Come on. Oh, boy, you did get in there. I didn't know you could get in there.
This is the victory lap. A year ago, James was so big he couldn't even climb onto the tractor he bought for his business. Now, after losing hundreds of pounds, he's not only getting on it, he's starting it up and getting to work. This isn't just about weight loss. This is about reclaiming his life, his dreams, and his independence. This single moment, the roar of that engine, is the sound of a man finally taking control of his own destiny. He didn't just buy a tractor, he bought his future back.
I'm gonna get serious about starting a family. I'm gonna have to find my own place. It's time for me to start getting out on my own.
What do you think about this one?
Man, this looks pretty nice so far. A woman will love this.
And here is the incredible conclusion. James didn't just lose the weight, he won the entire game. He's down over 350 pounds. He's in love with summer, and he's looking at houses to build a future. A year ago, this man was trapped in a deathbed, begging to die. Now he's planning a life he never thought he'd have. It's a stunning transformation, proving that even when you're staring into the abyss of a family curse, you can choose to turn around and walk away. Absolutely incredible.
I hurt all the time, so I don't get up much. With me having this big stomach, me so bad, and it feels like my skin is on fire.
We're starting in the depths of hell, and our guide is Susan. The self-loathing is palpable. She literally calls herself a fat glob and can't even look in a mirror. Every single step is a monumental effort, a battle against gravity and her own body. This isn't a life, it's a sentence. She describes her skin feeling like it's on fire, a constant, agonizing reminder of the prison she's built for herself. You're immediately hit with the profound misery of someone who has completely given up on existing.
When Susan was about 4 or 5, me and her dad started fighting a lot. He was an alcoholic. He would come home drunk, and somebody was going to get hit. It was either me or Susan.
And here it is, the textbook trauma origin story. Her childhood was a war zone with an alcoholic father who terrorized the family. The breaking point, a horrifying incident where he pulls a rifle on her mother, and a teenage Susan has to physically stand between them to prevent a murder. Is it any wonder food became her only reliable comfort? Her mother admits she just bought her whatever she wanted to soothe the pain. This isn't just an addiction, it's a coping mechanism forged in pure chaos.
What kind of cake you want? You want those?
Susan and my mom, they're very close and they've got each other.
Nacho?
Yeah.
My mom is the most important person in Susan's life.
The grocery store trip is a masterclass in codependency. Susan has a full-blown panic attack, collapsing in tears because she can't walk. And what's the family's solution? Wheeling over a chair so she can continue to supervise the selection of junk food. Her sister flat out calls their mom the biggest enabler, admitting that every plate of food is poison. This isn't care, it's a slow, deliberate act of assisted suicide, all wrapped up in the guise of not wanting to hurt her feelings. It's absolutely maddening to watch.
Who lives with you?
I live with my mom.
Okay, so we have to get mom to sort of watch you, huh? Are you a good watcher or are you enable?
I've been an enabler.
I figured that out.
Dr. Now enters the scene, and not a moment too soon. He wastes no time, immediately turning to the mother and asking the million-dollar question, are you a good watcher or are you an enabler? When she admits her guilt, he delivers the coldest line imaginable, telling her she's shortened her daughter's life and that's not love. Then he drops the bomb on Susan. Lose 100 pounds in 2 months. It's the brutal, system-shocking wake-up call this deeply broken family dynamic desperately needed. The game has officially changed.
This morning, I just fell to the ground. It just happened all of a sudden. I couldn't get the strength to get up, and I had to crawl and have my mom help me get into bed.
Just when things were looking up, disaster strikes. Susan suddenly loses all strength in her legs, collapsing and having to crawl back to bed. The diagnosis is neuropathy, nerve damage from years of extreme obesity. This is the moment where it could all fall apart. The body itself is rebelling, paying the price for decades of abuse. It's a terrifying setback that threatens to trap her in a wheelchair, potentially undoing all her progress and sending her right back into the pit of despair she just escaped.
All of these changes are scary, Susan. It's reasonable that you would feel a lot of fear right now.
I just don't understand why she's so scared.
Do you want to look at your mom and tell her what you're afraid of? It's scary for you to be in control.
This therapy session is the real turning point. It's not about food, it's about control. Susan, through tears, finally admits that her mother doing everything for her is crippling her. For the first time, she is forced to ask for independence, to tell her mother to back off and let her take responsibility for her own life. This is the catharsis she's needed for 20 years. It's the moment she stops being a victim of her past and starts fighting for her future as an adult.
You can't walk because you're overweight and you're malnourished. Okay, this weight gain is unacceptable. You should be walking without walker. You should be making more progress by now. Let me see how you walk.
After her rehab, Susan backslides, gaining weight and using her neuropathy as an excuse. Dr. Now is having none of it. He is visibly disgusted, calling her weight gain unacceptable and telling her she should be walking without a walker by now. He forces her to try and stand, and when she immediately claims she can't, he exposes the psychological game she's playing. Her mother's coddling is infantilizing her, and Dr. Now delivers the tough love needed to shatter the illusion that she's helpless. It's a brutal but necessary confrontation.
Today I have another doctor's appointment. I've been doing everything I can to keep making progress. I'm doing it and I'm doing it well. I can't believe that.
Hello, how y'all doing? I see you lost some more weight. I'm glad to see that you're making good progress.
Yeah.
And she did it! After that brutal dressing down from Dr. Now, Susan got her act together. She walks into the office, no walker, and steps on the scale. The result? Another massive loss, putting her total at nearly 250 pounds down. Dr. Now is beaming, telling her he's proud and that she's done excellent work. This is the hard-won victory. She faced a catastrophic medical setback, a psychological meltdown, and a final harsh ultimatum, and she came out the other side stronger. She truly earned this success.
It's my 38th birthday, so my family decided to have a party for me this year. A lot of my family and friends haven't seen me in a while. I'm really looking forward to spending some time with them.
It all culminates here, at her 38th birthday party, the first one she celebrated in over 20 years. The woman who was a prisoner in her own home, who described herself as a fat glob, is now surrounded by family and friends, smiling and alive. Her sister says it perfectly. She's back. This isn't just a physical transformation, it's a resurrection. She didn't just lose weight, she reclaimed a life that was stolen by trauma 2 decades ago. This is what a real victory looks like.